Safety first, so I'll start off with the life rings. Then I used the world's most expensive paintbrush to create the sea. This was a fun and surprisingly detailed kit from a vendor I've never built before. The kit came with a resin hull and some 3D printed parts and also photo etch. I did add some accessories such as lifeboats, crates, and boxes, and also the tiniest people figures I've ever seen. I drilled some holes for the anchor chain and then worked on painting the deck. Started with a solid base coat, then painted individual planks of wood with various shades of brown, keyword being various, and also make them random. Picking a dark and a light color and then mixing them together in varying amounts will help keep the colors close enough to be realistic, but yet offer the tonal variation. I gloss coated the deck and then applied an oil wash. Once it was semi-dry, I added another coat. I waited a bit longer and added a third. Basically, you just keep going until it's a darkness you like. Finally, since it came out a little too dark, I used a brush to remove some of the excess. This is one of the deck guns. Like everything else, it's super small and made up of multiple pieces. I used some squeeze to open tweezers to hold the base while I put the body on with the typical squeeze to close tweezers. Sometimes I buy tools like these, and sometimes I just stick a piece of tape on a plastic knife from yesterday's takeaway order. Rolling the bar, or paintbrush, or toothpick, or anything cylindrical across the flat photo etch will start to give it curvature. Getting it symmetrical is tricky, and it's all just a guessing game. I sort of just picked some random grays out of my paint drawer. All you need is a dark one and a light one. From there, you can thin them a little or a lot, or you can mix them a little or a lot. In the end, I dry brushed the light color, in this case it was sky gray. The instructions on this kit don't give you any colors to use, so be prepared for that. There's 100 individual pieces of tape here. Not fun to put down, but lots of fun to lift up for the reveal. This piece was a little too fragile to attach earlier and would have been difficult to mask around. Attaching it later is the better option, even though I risk damaging the wooden deck with glue marks. Here's some leftover anchor chain from our previous build that I worked down into the holes I drilled in the beginning. It doesn't fully fit in the hole, but it doesn't have to. Partway in is enough to get the desired effect. Same technique as earlier, except using a toothpick as a roller to get some curvature on the deck railing. Test fit it, and then adjust some more. Sometimes I can bend the photo etch on my fingernail, and sometimes I need a bending tool. It depends on if it's scored, and also how many bends I have to put on a single piece. I begin my seascape with a cheap laminated award plaque I bought online. So cheap I had to buy a second one after my masking tape peeled off some of the laminate on the first. It's a good idea to trace where you want the ship so you can make the wake look appropriate. I also tried to avoid texturing that section. My sea is just a few shades of blue sprayed in random squiggly lines. Blue won't show up well on the brown, so you need a white base. I cleaned off the overspray with thinner since I learned my lesson with masking tape on my first go round. This gel goes on white and dries clear. I used a stippling motion for the aft wake and created ridges for waves off the side of the ship. Then I rubbed it with water to dull down the brush strokes. Gloss coat, and then I'm dry brushing an off-white color for the crests of the waves. Using acrylic paint for this part allows me to wash away any brush strokes with water on a cotton bud. Then let's repeat the process using AK still water for the hell of it. It's pretty much a thinner version of the acrylic gel I used earlier, and I just wanted to experiment with it. I sprayed some blues and then did a final layer of the gloss gel for more texturing. This base is about 3 layers of acrylic gel and painting in between. I've only positioned the ship on the water for reference and did not attach it until finished. I'm still not sure if this technique with the tape worked. I think I just used tweezers to attach the boat on the other side. Whenever you finally do attach the ship, you'll want to make sure there's no weird gaps and that the sea conforms to the hull. This is the last bit of gel that I added. I had some overshots hit the hull, and those can be removed with water. It's okay for it to be a bit glossy because I'll spray a matte coat in the end, but you don't want a textured surface from the gel on the ship. The gel touching the hull also looks odd when it's clear, so you'll want to dab some color on it to show either seawater or foam, hence blue or whitish. These wooden crates looked bigger online. To paint them, I sprayed a medium brown base coat, then dry brushed them with a light brown or a sandy yellow. Then I used a dark brown oil wash. Quite simple, but so small that I had trouble filming it. After the boxes, the torture continued with the rigging. It's attached with varying thicknesses of superglue depending on how fast I need it to dry. At one point, I broke off the tall mast and had to re-glue and repaint it. Sounds dramatic, but it wasn't too bad. I finished off the assault on my eyeballs with 3D printed 1/700th scale sailors. This was the point where I finally gave in and got a magnifying visor. Just detaching these things from the print frame is difficult, and I broke as many as I was able to salvage and paint. Last step was the flag decal placed on aluminum foil to help make it wavy. While this ship was not easy, it didn't take nearly as long as a comparably detailed battleship in this scale. There's a superb amount of detail crammed into this small space, even if you don't buy the extra deck accessories. It's nice on the wallet and hard on the eyes. Well, take it easy, and I'll see you on the next build.